Brock 7-7 down to the final 20 minutes, the final quarter. And oddly enough, there's a yellow ball in the faceoff dot. We have not seen a yellow ball in use as far as I can tell. I take it all back. It's white. It was just on a yellow line. Never mind. It's only 9:13, folks. We were up late. Everyone in the booth, except the referees around the corner, thought it looked yellow, and they didn't say anything until I made a fool of myself. But we've got it all sorted out. Brock has possession of the ball, and they're going to get their offensive personnel out on the field. Brandon Slade and Cole Murdoff. Slade taking the ball, and Murdoff is following him. It's like a middle linebacker shadowing a running back. He'll step back. You can see how high Murdoff has gone to cover him, and they've done a pretty good job taking Slade out of the equation. Of course, Connor Ham is killing them. Brock moving the ball around the outside. Trent's defense, what they've done so well is just work really cohesively. I don't know that we've seen them stretch quite this high before. We'll see how it works out. Armstrong staying right with his man. Nice little reversal by Davis Neal. Works his way and gets a shot, doesn't get through. And it's scooped up by Matt Borisa. And those second chance possessions are huge. As a defense, you're working so hard. You get the save or the block, and then they just pick the ball up. That's a tough one. And he's out of frame now, but Cole Murdoff is all the way up at midfield with Brandon Slade. Slade is now sprinting down and checks a Trent player from behind. They're going to say play on because Trent has possession. Armstrong pops up. Nice little move by Garrett Eddy, but he's knocked over. Don't see a flag, but it will be a possession call. Garrett Eddy, it looked like pretty... there's a flag on the far side.
It almost looked like Eddy got tripped up in the feet there. Mm-hmm. They kind of took him out.
And you know what? It is Brandon Slade, it looks like, heading over to the penalty box for that push after Brock had lost the ball, so they did get the call. The flag just thrown on the far side. So Trent with the man up, and they lose the ball. What a strip by Drew Popniak. We've been waiting to say his name all day because it is not pronounced at all like it's spelled. And we're pretty happy that we know it's Popniak. At least that's what we were told by the coaching staff. So if the Popniaks are watching and that's not how your name's pronounced, we apologize. But great strip by Drew. Actually, Justin Kennedy, the coach, said, you know what, we just call him D-Pop. I'm not really sure how it's pronounced.
D-Pop.
There's a cut. Oh, and the great play by Johnny Lynch to limit the shooting opportunity of Nick Karam. And it's going to be Trent possession as the Brock player runs into the crease. And, wow, that was a nice play by Lynch to get a stick on that stick.
I can't believe you just put it over the top of the net, too. It was
a
wonderful opportunity there.
He's coming right down the slot and just that. It was just Lynch who has the ball now, number 67. He's an all-Canadian, all-honorable mention D-Mitty. And you can see why, as he just got enough contact that Karam wasn't able to get a shot off. We know Karam can shoot. He's got 2 goals, and he is a good shooter. Lynch will give it off to Garrett Eddy. I'll tell you one thing that Jeff McKinley was telling me. He wants Johnny Lynch, who's really bought into his role as a D-Mitty. He's playing great defense, playing a really tight D game. They've tried to tell him, hey, if you've got the ball and you're going to the field and there's a lane, go. But it's interesting as you watch Lynch, number 67, he tends to run towards the sideline before he breaks up the field. And they're really trying to get him to have those first few steps be up the field and look for an opening. And then you've got plenty of time to go to the bench and give up the ball.
As you said, he's defensive-minded, so he's just working on getting it past the half, and then he's going to...
off the post! Travis Zables was the quick release on the Ferguson pass. Brock comes up with it. Martin sprinting up the field. They're going to slow things down a little bit, but what a shot. And Alex Guinea went over and patted his post, I believe, and said thank you.
Yeah, he's lucky that thing was there to save his day, because that could have put their team down by 1 in a critical time for Trent.
Yeah, it's tough for, that pass from Ferguson a little bit high as he had to lob it up over the defender. Here comes Slade getting past Murdoff, gets the pass off. Karam goes behind the back, misses by about 4 feet. Excellent effort. It's going to be Brock possession once again. And Connor Ham will start with the ball. He's going to have to head down to the corner. He's watched over there by Jake Venton, one of these veteran Trent defenders. 7-7. Just over 4 minutes into the fourth quarter. I'm Steven Stamp with Sawyer Brock. we have to get into some of your family history in lacrosse 'cause it's interesting. We'll talk about it when there's a bit of a lull. Slade is up high. Your cousin, David Brock, plays for the Six Nations Chiefs and the Buffalo Bandits.
Yeah, he's played there.
That's a trip.
Yeah, there'll be a flag on the play. He's played there for a couple of years now because he was on a full ride scholarship to Albany in New York.
There you go.
And then got picked up right out of school.
Oh, there's a pass. The ball is loose on the floor. They're going to blow it down, and Cole Murdoff will sprint off. Cole Murdoff, who played hockey for the Ontario Hockey League Peterborough Petes, and stuck around in Peterborough to go to Trent, and obviously an excellent lacrosse player as well. But he has been covering Brandon Slade all game, and that is, I think, the second time that I've seen Slade get past him, and Murdoff just wound up tripping and got the stick down by the feet.
Yeah, it looked like he almost lost control, like lost the handle of his stick and just tripped up Slade there.
Slade fakes the pass, then does make it. He's got the ball back. There's a cutter. Oh, what a save.
Wow.
Kyle Holton absolutely rubs Matt Burasa.
Oh.
And they're going to call a crease call on Holton. Oh, that is a tough one to take. We had one of those last night on David. Was it David Bigley or was it the Brock goalie?
It was the Guelph goalie.
The Guelph goalie. There he goes. None of the above.
Yeah, it was Lalani. He was upset
Lalani.
with himself
That's
afterwards.
Right. He dropped the ball and it just fell into the crease. They move it down to Slade. He's a dangerous shooter. Great job of double teaming him. Means somebody's open though, and it's Burasa. Another great save. I don't know if that hit some post, but Holton got it. What a play by Kyle Holton. He is rapidly becoming the man of the hour for the Trent Excalibur, who are tied 7-7 with Brock. And we talked yesterday about while they're in the game, the ball is loose. Oh, tough on Ethan Schott, who just kind of overran it and then came back, and Slade did a great job of just sprinting out and knocking the ball away where somebody could pick it up. He'll get the ball. We are back to 6-on-6 lacrosse in the Trent zone. Slade starting to carry the ball more, starting to be more of a focal point in this offense. Of course, the leading scorer in CUFLA lacrosse this year. And we were talking about it last night, watching him in warm-up. He can rip the ball. He's also a very accurate shooter. Wherever you have an opening, he can hit it. But they've done a great job, Trent has. You see Cole Murdoff, his opposite number 3, is there, slipping off the pick. And there's a nice slide. Terrific defensive help. That was Seamus Blakelock
covering Slade all game. He has not left his side. Even if the play's behind him, his eyes are set right on Slade.
Yeah.
He doesn't take his eyes away.
Honestly, I mean, we pick a player of the game for each team at the end of the game, and for Trent, I mean, Garrett Eddy has been outstanding. I think you got to look at Travis Zabols, and I would certainly include Cole Murdoff in that discussion.
Yeah.
I mean, the work he's done. I don't know how many points Brandon Slade has at this point. We're going to take a quick peek. He's got nothing. So that is huge.
Murdoff's done a great job of shutting him down. He hasn't been involved. He's barely been involved in the offensive play at all.
Yeah. Grayson Houghton with 3 goals for Brock. Connor Hamm and Nick Karam with 2 apiece. For Trent, Ryan Gunn with the hat trick. 2 for Travis Zabols. 1 each for Garrett Eddy and Danny Mickle. Eddy also with a couple of assists, and he's got the ball now. And he's going to let it rip a little bit high. But Travis Ferguson is about a step away from the back line, so no question about possession. Ooh. And then an athletic play by Andreoli is, boy, that was almost thrown away. You can't give up possessions, especially in the final 11-15 here of the fourth quarter in a tie game. In what would be a pretty historic win for Trent if they can pull this one out. I mean, they have been to 2 Baggataway Cup semifinals in 2008 and 2009, the second and third years of the program. They had players. I was talking to some guys, some officials and coaches and that last night, and they're talking about Josh Wasson, who's one of the Trent coaches now, the offensive coach, and how good and how dangerous of an offensive player he was back in the day, leading Trent to those 2 Baggataway Cup semifinals. There's a great little effort by Cole Martin to come up with that ground ball and gain possession for Brock and create a break, but then they throw the pass away, and there's a little bump. Now that's interesting because we were talking last night after the game about the big hit that Dave Bigley came out and got penalized for, and some of the refs were saying, yeah, absolutely, that's a penalty. You can't just come out and hit somebody from behind when he doesn't know what's coming. So I guess the difference here is as Holton comes out, is the player was coming straight at him.
Yeah,
so
it was
he comes
on the
out
chest.
and establishes contact. So
from where we were sitting last night, though, Stephen, it didn't look like Bigley had the hit on the back. It looked like the guy was kind of almost straight at him because he was
kind of turning. Yeah, that was a big hit though.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Kind of reminds you of that YouTube video of some little kids game, and they're having the kids taking a penalty shot, and he's going in, and he's all fancy dancing around and stick handling, and this tiny goalie sees him, and he just runs out and levels him, and gives him the Hulk pose afterwards. It was fantastic. Oh, what a shot! Davis Neal has had the ball in a similar position several times, but just didn't have the shooting lane. For the first time, he's got the open look, and he rips that one home into the corner to put Brock up.
It was a really nice pass from Slade there, too.
Yes.
Slade finally getting himself on the points board. And
takes a power play for the Badgers to get that one, and Slade getting involved. Obviously, with the extra man for the Badgers, it's very tough to isolate on Slade, and he gets himself his first point and gives Brock the lead, 8-7, 10-14 to go, Sawyer. And this is a great game. This has been a terrific weekend of lacrosse so far.
Yeah,
we got lots more.
amazing.
At 1 o'clock, we have Western and Bishops playing in the first semifinal. At 5 o'clock, a bit of a scheduling change. 5 o'clock will be the second semifinal. That's when it needs to be played. And it will be the McGill-Redmond, the well-rested McGill-Redmond, against the winner of this game, who may be a little laggy when they start that one.
And a few of the Redmond are actually here in attendance today to kind of get a check out of what they're gonna or who they're gonna be up against later on tonight.
I actually thought the whole team was coming, but I guess it's just the coaches that are here this morning.
Yeah, the team was here last night, but I'm sure the coaches said, "Well, you guys watched it. We'll go have a look
rest.
And
Watch
keep warm, get your
watch
rest."
it on the web stream, just like you folks. Thank you for being with us, watching this game, watching all weekend. Again, we will have the games live, 1 o'clock and 5 o'clock today, the semifinals. Tomorrow, 1 o'clock, the championship game for the awarding of the Baggataway Cup. And I got to tell you, you look down, and that ball looks yellow again on that yellow line. It just kind of reflects the line. I'm not going to go on about it this time because I know better. But big battle for the face-off. Great work by Garrett Eddy. Haven't seen him taking it. And Beaudoin trying to come up with the ball. Now Brandon Armstrong is working.
First of the game and first of the tournament, number 9, Davis Neal, assisted by number 3.
There's going to be a push in the back. Trent gets possession, and Garrett Eddy has been doing everything for Trent. With a goal, a couple of assists, and now taking face-offs and actually neutralizing, on this occasion, Nicolas Beaudoin. Or Nico Beaudoin. I tell you, Beaudoin is a very good face-off man. It made such a difference in the third quarter last night and early this morning that he was just getting the possession every single time a goal was scored. Travis Zables, again, with a couple of goals today, Trent's leading scorer overall. Of course, Garrett Eddy, number 2, is the top goal scorer for the Excalibur. He's way up at the top of the formation, about 30 yards away from the goal, as Travis Ferguson takes his time in behind. Jesse Schumann with an eye on him. Schumann was actually covering Eddy last night. There's a shot and a save by Alex Guinea on the rip by Ryan Gunn. Oh, and then the ball is thrown. Guinea throws it back into the back of the net. We talked last night about how you can do that, and that's a heads-up play with the double team all over him.
When he almost, if he hadn't got the ball out, he was going to fall back into his crease. It would have been a possession call.
Yeah, and as long as you toss that ball first before you go in, it's okay. You can go back and get it. Strange rule, frankly.
A little bit. A little bit of a strange rule. Because then if you drop it anywhere else in the crease, it counts as a go back in, right? So it's strictly to the back of the net.
Yeah, I mean every sport has their strange rules.
It's true.
But that's one I've never quite understood. Maybe somebody will explain it to me someday. Okay. See, it didn't take long. You just speak up, and Kevin Caplice, one of the official supervisors and an executive with CUFLA, has just mentioned that you can actually toss it anywhere into the crease and go pick it up. As long as you toss it in first, you can then go in after it. But the reason they toss it into the back of the mesh is then a player cannot go touch it, whereas they can pick it up from somewhere else in the crease. Nice work there by Nick Karam, creating some space. Connor Ham spins around, shoots. No problem for Holt on that one. But it's picked up immediately. Oh, what a block. I don't think that even got through to the goalie. I think that was Johnny Lynch blocking that shot, the reverse whip by Connor Ham that he has tried before and almost finished there.
Lynch just leapt right in front of that shot there.
Yeah.
Sacrificed the body.
You can tell how much this means to these players on both teams. The Excalibur trailing 8-7. It would be a big upset for them, but at this point in the game, there's no more upset to it. It's just a tight, good lacrosse game. And Brock recognizes that they've got themselves into this situation. They are up by a goal now, and they would dearly love an insurance marker.
We were talking yesterday, Stephen, that Trent was coming into this game as the underdog, but they're not. They're showing that they're not the underdogs today.
Yeah, nice play there by Kyle Holton. And Davis Neal just drops his hands to his knees. Here comes Johnny Lynch running the ball out. Great job of finding the lane and getting it up to Garrett Eddy. Trent pushing the pace. Brock, excellent job of getting everyone back. There's Brandon Slade. You know, we talked about his scoring prowess. He is back in a hurry to take away the transition opportunity. Now he's going to be on Garrett Eddy. They've had Jesse Schumann covering Eddy, and he's going to take advantage of this chance to get a shot off. We'll see if Schumann, number 10. No, Schumann's over on the far side, so Eddy gets a shot at his stop by Alex Guinea. Guinea saw that one from the moment that Eddy started winding up with it. Guinea with a long pass near midfield. Scooped up by Bourassa. Ham's going to move it down to Karam. Sorry, that was Grayson Houghton moving it to Karam. Brandon Slade wants it up top, and he'll get it. And there comes his faithful companion, Cole Murduff. Trent needs to create something with 5:41 to go. They've got to limit the possession time that Brock has. A little one-hand swing, another one. Slade's going to try and get around Murduff. He does, so gets the pass out. Ham with a shot off the crossbar. It's going to bounce out and be picked up by Joe Bedlington. Bedlington will get it up into the offensive zone. Almost the insurance marker. That hit the bottom third of the crossbar. It had to hit the bottom quarter, I think, to get in. We're going to have a timeout called by the Trent Excalibur. With 5:09 to go, they're going to try and set something up and, boy, get the tying goal, and we could have some overtime. Just so you know, if we do go to overtime, if it winds up tied, the format is 2 4-minute periods. Play the full 8 minutes. If it's still tied after that, then we go to sudden death or sudden victory.
Yeah, and then in that first 8 minutes, it's kind of like how soccer works, where you can still score, but you still play throughout the 8 minutes.
Yeah. I should say box cross in the OLA, CLA. I mean, you play the 10-minute overtime period in MSL and the WLA and things. In the NLL, they do go straight to sudden death overtime.
Yeah.
I'm Stephen Stamp with Sawyer Brock. And we have 5:09 to go.
Trent's going to really want to set up some sort of strategy here on the sidelines where they have possession of the ball in their offensive zone. They, as you're saying, Stephen, they really need this tying goal to kind of not keep themselves in this game because they still are in it, but they want to show Brock that they're here to play and they're going to take it right to the final minute.
Yeah, and you just got to get it at some point, or the sooner the better. I think if I was Trent, I'd probably be trying to set something up for Travis Zabols. I mean, Ryan Gunn with 3 goals is showing he's a good shooter too, but I'll tell you, I like the energy. Garrett Eddy hasn't been quite as dynamic this morning, but I'll tell you, last night he was creating, he was running around, drawing defenders, and he can run around, and it's hard as a defender not to step his way a little bit, and that can open things up, and then the dish is there. And I would be inclined to let him run around for a bit, see what he can create. He's going to immediately pass it off, of course, to Danny Mickle. He gets it back. Garrett Eddy's up high with Cole Martin watching him. Again, mentioning Jesse Schumann, number 10, was really covering Eddy a lot last night. He's over on the far side, keeping an eye on Danny Mickle. Trent's just going to slow things down, wait a little bit before they start things. Now they get some movement going. Zabols circles around behind the net, comes up through the crease, and Eddy just walking his way slowly down with Martin watching him. Starts to move, drives to the net, spins back. Just kind of backing away. He gets to Zabols, but nothing opening up for Trent. Good discipline by Brock. We talked about how important it is to stay in your position, play your role, cover your man, and not slide early. And they're doing a great job of it.
Yeah, they're doing a great job of just shutting down any movement through the middle, out front of the Brock net here. They're just really keeping Eddie out to the far stretch of the field. And
Trent's going to try it again with Eddie walking along the sideline. 4:03 to go. They know there's no rush. They've got time to make something happen. Martin all over him. The pass gets away, and that's going to be a turnover. Zabols just couldn't reach the pass. Eddie had a man on him and just for a little too far, and that is a crushing blow to Trent's hopes. We'll see, because with 3:45 to go, Brock is going to just try to hold on to this ball for as long as possible, and they'll really only shoot if if they get a very good scoring opportunity, and are pretty sure they're going to get the ball back on the out of bounds possession.
Well, yeah, at this time in the game, you don't want to. They can't let Trent get another possession because
here comes Nick Andrioli sprinting down to get on top of Drew Popniak. Popniak just calmly picks it up and passes it over to the far side. A little sidearm whip pass by Alec Tamas. And Brock has possession in the offensive zone. Nothing the Trent attackmen can do now. It's all up to the middies and D to get the ball back. Kyle Holton in the Trent goal. Matt Bursa just sidestepping down by the back line. Trent bringing the pressure out a little bit. That's Ethan shot out on him. Now Brandon Armstrong.
Oh.
And we're into the final 3 minutes, and Trent gets the ball. The clock up on the scoreboard stops, and the time is kept by the official scorekeeper over on the far side of the field. With 30 seconds left, the clock will come onto the field. Oh, no, Trent's thrown it away. Now a big hit, absolutely flattening Joe Bedlington, and Brock gets the ball back. Popniak has it, long outlet pass, great pass up to Nick Karam.
Quick timeout called here by Brock.
Brock's going to slow things down. So Brock trying to set things up with under 3 minutes to go.
They're all he has been all over Slade, but other than that, he hasn't done a lot. But it's the defensive play is shut down Slade's offense for sure.
So Brock with under 3 minutes to kill here. Trent needs to get the strip. They almost had one. They were very close.
Yeah, they had the possession there. They're probably kicking themselves that they gave it back to Brock, because now they're going to have to put on a clinic for defense here and really pressure the ball to have Brock make a bad pass here so they get another opportunity on offense.
So Brock would love to extend this lead by a goal and take some of the pressure off. Trent is going to be out forcing them. You can already see before plays even started that Brandon Armstrong is coming right up on Brandon Slade. And actually Cole Murdoff, who's been covering Slade all game, is going to back away and go cover Davis Neal down low. An interesting switch. I think they might be looking at Armstrong being a little bit more. I mean, Murdoff's been so great in his role covering Slade and keeping Slade to just one assist in the game. But I think the athleticism of Armstrong is what they're using now to try and force something. There's the close defensive pressure by Liam Barkley. And Nick Karam, who's been outstanding for Brock all day with a couple of goals, a couple of assists, and he's looking for another. No, he's going to spin out. Now he gets it. The third goal for Nick Karam, and that is a dagger for the Brock Badgers.
Yeah, that's a huge goal there for Karam. That really gives them a nice cushion between between the scores for Trent, because now Trent's gonna, if they need to do anything, they need to score 2 goals in the next 40 seconds to keep themselves back in this.
Is that what we've got left?
I'm just saying 40
You're
seconds so that they could get the 2 goals,
Okay.
bring themselves to the tie, and then even give themselves the opportunity for the
Right.
quick win. But
Trent desperately needs a face-off win here. They got Garrett Eddy out trying to get it. He's working hard against Nico Baudouin, the all-Canadian face-off man. Armstrong dives in there. And we've got a trap call and a push. Trent's going to get the ball, so they have possession.
Armstrong actually got pushed on the back there, and
Yeah, as
that's,
he was
that's
going
how
in.
he ended up.
I thought he actually just dove in, but yeah, the official right in position to see that.
The game and third of the tournament. Number 1, Nick.
Garrett Eddy starting up top. Trent's going to let him go up top and slow things down. They've got 3 players in the slot. Andrioli, Gunn, and Mickle all in there. The ball's dropped or stripped. Eddie's trying to get it back, and great hustle to get over there by Travis Zables to get the ball. But then Brock strips him. We're going to have a push, though, and it's Trent possession once again. They still have a chance, down by 2. 1 minute to play. Spin by Dan Mickle. Throws it back up top. Eddie's going to try and create something on the run. Drives in, goes through everybody and scores. Penalty coming.
Big goal for the
Big goal. There's several flags. Trent could, best case scenario for them, they could come out of this with a goal and a man up.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they get the advantage starting in the Brock defensive zone, and if they can apply the pressure, they can get one more quick one before the end of this quarter, and they'll take it to overtime. I think so, yeah.
Great play. I mean, Garrett Eddy, we talked about how he hadn't been quite as dynamic today as last night. I mean, he was the best player on the field in the game last night, I thought.
Just with his quick feet and his quick hands, like
Yeah.
he was just shedding defenders like they were nothing. He just like the speed he just demonstrated there.
Yeah.
He's just unbelievable.
The speed and the dangle.
Yeah.
I mean, just to take that through 3 or 4 players when they needed him to. And that might be the knock on him, as he tries to do that a bit too much. He's drawing defenders, and I mean, somebody's open. But in that case, he just shredded them, as you said. And Brock is actually going to be 2 men short after the goal.
Oh, wow. This is a big opportunity for the Excalibur here.
Trent should actually score here.
Oh, yeah, for sure. 2-man advantage.
Interestingly, they're going to start up top with Ryan Gunn with the ball. The officials conferring. Garrett Eddy is down low with Travis Zables near the goal. Zables right on the goal line extended, and Eddy just kind of wandering about.
You'd think that the Excalibur would almost just redo their last play and just give Eddie the ball and kind of have him rush
Well,
it.
but they've got 6-on-4 now. You don't need
It's
him to
true.
run through everybody, and it might be
And second of the tournament. Number 2, Garrett Eddy.
Jesse Schumann, Josh Kelly, Connor McGee, and Drew Popniak, the 4 defenders for Brock, tasked with trying to stop this Trent offense with 6 men on. And now Jesse Schumann is sprinting off. He actually is the one who had the penalty. They thought it was somebody else. He has come off. And Schumann, who's a midi, he'd been playing a lot of D midi with the short pole, had picked up a long pole and heads over to the penalty area. Trent on the attack. Ryan Gunn over to Eddie. He's going to let it fly. It's too high, but Trent will get it back. Not a lot of time.
Eddie was really looking for that
Less than a
corner
minute.
there.
Around 30 seconds. Trent's got to make something happen pretty quickly. A perfect opportunity for them. They're going to kick themselves if they can't convert here. Eddie has it, and he's just going to let it rip and score. Garrett
Eddie with
Eddy,
a hat trick.
his 3rd of the game. What a goal. We
Wow.
expected to see it happen. 34 seconds to go as Garrett Eddy ties it up for Trent. This I am going to admit that when Brock got 2 goals to go up 9-7, I thought, great effort, Trent.
Yeah, I thought Brock had it in the bag, and that
Yeah,
Trent
no
should
quit
start
for this
backing up.
Excalibur.
No, not at all.
Wow.
That was an unbelievable play by Eddie there. Really showing why he's one of the star players for this Trent Excalibur team.
and an All-Canadian. And I'll tell you, we were waffling. I'm going to tell you on our player of the game. I don't know if we want to ruin the surprise, but I don't think it's a surprise for anyone right now that Trent's player of the game at this point is Garrett Eddy. We had Cole Murdoff actually written down for the defensive work he'd done on Brandon Slade.
But,
But Garrett Eddy has Cole Murdoff, great job. Your name has been scratched off, and Garrett Eddy's has been written.
Yeah, exactly. Eddy just in this last minute of the game has shown that he's not. He doesn't want to go home. Like they're out here to play.
Double team. Brock has a man open. A player is tackled. The flag goes up. Not much question about that one. And, boy, you never want to take a penalty, but there are good penalties and bad penalties. That's a great penalty.
That was a great penalty to take.
Johnny Lynch making the smart decision to just tackle Connor Ham as he goes to the net.
Ham had the goalie beat for sure, and the goalie even scrambled right at the end of the play to dive and scoop it up before it slid past the goal line.
Yeah.
So.
Trent trying to get everybody out there. Wouldn't this be an astonishing ending if Trent scores the 2 in the final minute to come back and tie it, and Brock were able to bury one? Everything's going to stop as the teams get their personnel out there. Six on 5, the edge for Brock. Actually, Brock still has a man. Do they have their 2 men in the box? So they are actually 4 on 5. And still created that opportunity as they're non-releasable fouls over there. Oh, my God, a chance for Slade. What a save by Kyle Holton on the last gasp effort. Brandon Armstrong's running the field. That's going to be the end of the half and the end of the regulation time. And the entire Trent bench, all their coaches, all their players were running down the sideline, waving like a crazy third base coach, telling Brandon Armstrong, run the ball and take a shot. But there's no time to get up there. And what a scenario. It's 9-9. You've had the back and forth, up and down. It's tied up. There's a few seconds to go. And somehow, in a 4-on-5, Brandon Slade winds up wide open with the ball in front of the net. I like Brock's chances there, but a great save by Kyle Holton.
Well, it's unbelievable, too. In this, we only had, I think, 10 minutes to play in the third quarter and then the whole fourth quarter, and they've scored the exact same amount of goals as they did last night in the game. So they really came out to play today.
Excellent point.